We're back. Novillos Ranch is in our crosshairs. It's where we all started. We're shooting management deer, and there's not a better place in Texas than the Novillos Ranch for management bucks. And there just might be a huge 8-point step out.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents
Welcome back, folks. This week we're at the Novillos Ranch. Dr. Jeff Friedman and his son Miller are down here for a visit, going to try to shoot a couple of whitetails. We're going to give Miller a little instruction on the bench to get him ready for the hunt. And after that, Lamar is after an absolute monster of an 8-point. You don't want to miss this.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Zeiss Hunting, McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, Hornady Ammunition, Great Horizon Ranch, Rack 'em Up Roasted Feeds, and Borden Accuracy.
It's old hat coming down here, and we just love it. Every time that Jackie reaches out to us and said, you know, he's got some management that needs to be done, or he's got a great buck for Seth, or a really nice buck for Lamar, that's the phone call we really like to get. And this year was no different. We love coming here. This is where it all started. The fact that Jackie and I are childhood friends, and we're still interacting today and having a relationship, it even means that much more. The Novillos Ranch is ingrained in us ever since we started the business, and then it just made it more special. One thing that's going to make this hunt a little more special was Jackie's had some issues with some health problems, and he spent a lot of time at MD Anderson, and he got it fixed. There's some lasting effects to it, but it's not holding Jackie back one iota. And one of the guys that's coming on this hunt is Dr. Friedman from Houston up there at Methodist Hospital. He was very instrumental in getting Jackie back on his feet, and he and his son Miller were going to come down here, and we were going to get to hunt with him.
So I met Jack coincidentally 25 years ago. Today, in looking back on it, retrospectively, I didn't really know that I had met him. So I had a patient that I had operated on, again, 25 years ago, and was invited here by that patient's husband to this ranch with my father. And so we drove down here 25 years ago, had a wonderful father-son experience at that time. Many years later, I met Jack again through some of his healthcare issues that he had in Houston. And we reconnected and connected the dots, and it just kind of made sense then that this was the place that I had been to 25 years previously. And Jack was kind enough to invite me and my son down here. And so he was able to experience the same experience I had 25 years previously with my dad, and it's just been fantastic. Got tons of memories that we'll carry with us for the next many years to come.
Also on the hunt was going to be Alan Rovig. Miller was going to get his own personal instructor at the rifle range, and Alan was going to be a good one.
Today we're here with Miller Freeman. His dad, Jeff Freeman, Dr. Jeff Freeman, is the one that saved Mr. Jackie Scoggins' life. So we just wanted to get them down here and go over all the basics before he starts to hunting here on the Novillos. So today we're going to be shooting, we're going to be training with our 6.5 PRC, and this one's built with a Borden axe and Brooks barrel, McMillan stock. It's got a Zeiss scope on it. Trigger Tech trigger set at about 1.5 pounds, so I'm going to let him do some dry runs on that. But basically we're just going to go over the basics of shooting. So
Awesome.
I know you've hunted for a long time, but everybody that's hunted for a long time might have been doing the wrong things for that whole time. So we're just gonna go over a few things and hopefully get you straight today. So first thing you wanna do, this time we've got it set up on a bipod, and you've got a rear bag, so that's your elevation control. You're just simply gonna drop your cheek in, and then get your parallax free, and then do your quick nod test. Make sure your crosshairs aren't jumping on the target, and then you're ready to take the safety off. You're gonna locate the trigger, and then you're gonna start your squeeze. Good shot, dead deer. Okay, I'm gonna get you to hold 2.5 minutes left. Good shot.
Thank you.
You ever shot 1,000 yards before?
Never.
Well, you hit the gong, so that when that buck steps out this afternoon at 300 yards, that ought to be a piece of cake, right?
Exactly, yes.
Right
Absolutely.
equipment, a little bit of training, good bullets, good Hornady bullets, and you're ready to go.
Can't wait.
All right, let's go kill him.
Let's do it.
This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Borden Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Borden Accuracy equals success.
The first afternoon, there was a buck they had picked out for Miller, a very nice 8-point. They went to the blind and they saw the deer and they were getting ready to shoot him. He was working his way down there, but this time of year, the rut's kicking off. He had other ideas, and the next thing you know, he just darted off in the brush and never came back. All right, with high hopes after seeing the deer last night, they're going back this morning and they're going to check and see if that deer comes back.
That's him. That's the one we're looking for. He's over there.
The sun starts coming up, they're excited about the possibilities, and sure enough, Ricky looks down the Sandero and here comes the buck. He's heading their way.
Yep, you smoked him. Good, man. You got him.
All right.
He just went in the brush. There he is.
All right.
Good deal, buddy. Good deal, man.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Sweet. It's a nice one.
Well, Miller, this is the same deer we got yesterday. We couldn't get a shot. He was too far.
Yeah.
Came this morning, came within range.
Yeah.
You did a good shot, man.
Made it happen. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much. You know, couldn't have a better morning. Nice and cold, you know, perfect conditions. You know, he came out, took a while to get the shot, but, you know, had my heart racing a million miles an hour, but we got it done, you know, and we're happy to be here. Couldn't be more grateful. Thank you so much.
You bet, man. You bet.
While Miller's got his own thing going on the north end, I'm in the house blind on the south end. I'm here to help Jackie with some management and some cull hunting, and we don't have to sit very long in the house blind. And sure enough, a nice management steps out, and it's my turn. That's a good 3 or 4 year old deer. 8 point. Well, another management buck for the Novillos Ranch. That's a good 4 year old. 8 point. Big old body, dark. 9, I guess, if you count that little G4 there. Make any kind of hunt a hunt. You know, I've killed bigger deer, but this helps me know that I can help the ranch, because this was not going to get any better. You can see by his knees there, they're wore out, so he's a good 4 year old deer. And you definitely don't want these genetics out there. And you can tell he's stinking. These hocks are all brown. He's been chasing does, so we definitely did our job. Jackie hired us to come down here and do some management buck hunting for him, and I believe we did it just fine.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Atlas Development Group, Brooks Barrels, and Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. This segment is brought to you by Atlas Development Group, makers of the finest premium rifle cartridge cases on the market. Proudly made in the USA. Our stringent manufacturing process and raw materials yield superior results.
So the next day, we're going to change pastures. If you watch the show enough, you know that there's a feed yard pasture that has a real history of some great deer. The cowboys had talked about seeing some really nice 8 points over there, so that's where we were headed that afternoon. The history with the feed yard pasture is a strange one at best. It can be times that you go over there for 3 days and you might see a few doe and some yearling bucks. Trail cameras have proved that there's monsters there. The cowboys have seen them when they're working cattle. And then there's another time when you go over there, the big mature bucks are just everywhere. You can have one of the worst afternoons of hunting over there, or it can be one of your best. Texas hunting, it's 80 degrees. But it's gonna cool off tonight as the sun goes down. It was 41 this morning, but we're at the feed yard. We'd been hunting in Novillos, but now we're at the feed yard. We're gonna see what happens for the next couple of days here.
Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to talk about the heart of every custom hunting rifle, and that's the action. And over the years, we've used many actions, and we still have a variety of them, but the one that we keep coming back to, and we like more than any of them, is the Borden Action. The Borden Action has tighter tolerances pretty much than anything else we have used, and there's several other features that we just love about it.
Right, and as you mentioned, the bolt, Borden has tighter tolerances than most other action manufacturers because he has 1.5 thousandths clearance on each side of the bolt. Very little movement. You do that with a factory gun, it's just going to move all over the place. You're never going to get the same accuracy that you can out of something built like this. And also, Borden puts DLC coating on his bolt, so it actually makes it smoother, it's weather resistant, it's just a lot better than just having raw steel in there. It holds lubricity, it's just a lot better all around.
The thing I like about them the best is the way they make a target look. Little bitty bug holes. The tight tolerances and a good mate with a barrel, a good bedding job, and these just shoot little bug holes. And these tend to shoot the best of pretty much any action that we have. So
Jim really has it going on when he's building these actions. He's a perfectionist when it comes to machining, and everybody in the shop, they do a really great job.
The Bordens, as you can see, they're a 2-lug action. They got 90-degree bolt throw. We also make rifles with some 3-lug actions. Those are, a lot of PRS guys like those.
Right, they're for a lot of getting a shot off and getting it back on. Like PRS they do, and like a lot of times they have to get so many shots off on a target. Whereas on a Borden, it's a 2-lug, it's got a 90-degree throw, but a 60-degree throw's got a harder pickup on the bolt.
A lot harder
it's a shorter throw, so it has to pick up that same amount of travel in a shorter distance. So it's a little heavier bolt pull. But with, for hunters, we get 1 shot, 1 kill. We're really not too worried about getting another shot off.
So for ultimate accuracy, Borden's still our go-to action. We've got some other great ones, but these are my favorite. All my guns are wearing a Borden action.
Mine too.
And that's our True Precision Tip of the Week, brought to you by Allen and Dustin and McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Leo Photo USA, Trigger Tech, Hawkins Precision, Armageddon Gear, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, Hell's Canyon Barrels, Gun Foam, Boyd Harness Company, and Metal Spinning Targets. This segment is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue.
Before we headed to the feed yard, we all picked a blind to go to. And I ended up with the hole on the left. It's in a bottom with a blind on the right and the left. Obviously, that's where they get their names. I was in the one on the left. Russell and I got set up in the blind. We're watching some does. We got one decent 8-point that's down there, but we're thinking maybe he's only 2. So we're gonna give him another year or 2 to see what he comes out with. And so we're just sitting and waiting, and we're paying more attention to the other 2 Sanderos, and all of a sudden Russell says, "Hey, what's that coming down?" And I look over and you can see this huge black body walking towards us at about 330 yards. Put the binoculars up. I said, "That's a mature deer." So then I get the 6.5 PRC out the window with that 25 power scope, and the first thing I look for is G4s. I didn't see any. This is a target buck, and it just so happened to be an 8-year-old behemoth of a deer that even the cowboys had never seen. Oh yeah. So Russell's asking me, he says, "Is he a shooter? Is he a shooter?" And I said, "Yes, he is a shooter." So he's getting the camera ready. I'm getting all settled in behind the 6.5 PRC, and I'm getting everything set and making sure I'm solid. And all I'm doing now is waiting for him to turn. And even though I've got some experience hunting, my heart was beating a little bit on this deer because he was such a classical, heavy, massive, black, mature 8-point that you just don't see every day. A couple of times he starts to turn. I say, "You ready?" And Russell said, No, wait. And do it again. We did it about 3 times. And finally, Russell says, "Now." And he was perfectly broadside. Think about that, 300 yards in his tracks. Really nice 8-point. Oh, it's dark, but the setting sun's glistening off. Look at the mass. When I came down here to help with the management, I was not expecting this. Holy smokes. Look at the mass, the chocolate, the old head, the body, everything just reeks feed yard. They're notorious for having mass and dark horns. We come down here and we try to get anything 8.3 years or older as a management. But this is a classic management buck. I mean, everybody's proud to have one like this. It's got a broken G1 here, but doesn't take away. Look at the mass on it sideways. I mean, the whole thing is just, couldn't be happier. Thank you, Jackie, for all the work you did all these years, because the genetics like this are throughout this. The feed yard has a reputation of being hard to hunt. We didn't see but one other buck in 2.5 hours, so beautiful deer. I'm tickled to death, and I was here for management purposes. I'll take it. The hunt was coming to an end. Miller had a really good buck. I had a buck of a lifetime, even as old as I am. I was really proud of this deer, and so was Miller. Another time that the Novillos Ranch produced great deer and a great memory.